Good evening, guys. We are just about to get started here. Grab your popcorn, grab your steering wheel, lock it into place, and let's get ready to rock for 60 minutes around Monza Grand Prix. Welcome everybody to the Racing Sim Rigs World Series here at the Monza Grand Prix. It is round 8 of season 1 of 2020. It will be, well, essentially a race against time because this old beauty will serve GT3s once again. That car right there, we have it pointed there for a reason. That is Milan Tikins. A very, very experienced real-life driver who's joining the league this race. And he's going to be able to show off his prowess as he battles Linus Techno to take his maiden win for the RSR WS. Craig, what do you think of the man himself, Milan Tikins?
Good evening, Rob. Good evening, everybody. Milan Tikins, we don't know a lot about him, but I've been doing my little book reading. I've been digging some information on him. How good is Milan Tikins? Well, he competed last year in the 2019 Supercar Challenge around basically the Benelux area in the Super Sport 2 category. 14 races, 7 weekends with 2 races each weekend. 13 of those 14 races, he got a podium with his teammate. They won 7 of the races, and as you can imagine, they won the championship. So this is a guy who is very adept. He also races in Dutch Mazda leagues in real life as well. And I believe he was mentioning to someone he might have a test drive with another team coming up. But he, by the looks of everything, he looks a very well-rounded young driver. And it'll be interesting to see what he does here. And it's great to see some more activity with pro drivers because we must be honest, Adam Christo, our regular 24-hour champion, is not here this week on holiday and preparing for a race around the Nordschleife this weekend, I believe. So he won't be here this week. Neither will Till Matske, which throws a lot of things up. Most of all, the championship, because let's just give a rundown before they start qualifying. Let's give a rundown of the championship because in the pros, Tim Matske 538, Linus Technow 491, Liam McNinch 479. So that's the points at the moment. Let's take away their worst results. Let's take away the drop weeks, and it gets this close with Tim Matske 438. Linus Technow 425 and Liam McNinch 402. That is how close it's going to be. And if they can get somewhere, it will be interesting to see. Awful mic quality. Okay.
Yeah, it's peaking quite badly. We can fix it on the fly though. We are that skilled.
Hang on 1 second. How does that work? That might be better, but I'm not entirely sure.
It sounds better. Try speaking now.
Test 1 2.
It sounds a good bit better.
Yeah. I just changed the game. Sorry, we're going through teething problems. As you can tell, I have a new microphone, and I'm just going through the testing. Unfortunately, I was unable to get a proper test beforehand. That's my fault. I will slap myself on the wrist. But yes, it's quite close in the pros at the moment, and with no Matsuke, it looks well. In some respects, we might have a chance of Linus taking the lead by quite a big amount in the championship.
Yeah. So the current situation is that the amateurs are so bunched up together that 5th through 2nd is 2 points, as far as I'm correct.
Something about that. If we go through the points and then we'll tell you their points with the drop week. Neil Butler's leading with 369. Ben Smith with 359. Andrew Miller with 292. Joshua Meyer 291. Christian Furtz 279. Stefan Kurtzman 257. Harry Wills 252. Martin Pearson 249. And that is, Tom Johnson 238. Isaac Barkley 232. When you start putting in drop weeks, everything changes. And Neil Butler will have about a 35-point lead. But then behind him, Ben Smith and Joshua Meyer are separated by 8 points. And then 7 points behind them would be Andrew Miller. So, and then you've got guys on 237, 238, 232. Everything changes when you incorporate the drop weeks. And this amateur division is so open at the moment, even with Neil Butler up in the lead where he is. I mean, Joshua Meyer could come back and win the league in the amateurs. Which will be interesting to see, but I don't think he'll be able to.
Will it be so stacked? Well, it'll be so stacked, coming into probably to like the final 2 races where people will literally need to do the do or die tactics, as in they need to absolutely gun it to the walls to try and get enough points to secure the W. I think that's what everybody is trying to aim for, at the very least. The W. You don't want second place, because that's the winner of L, as the hipsters like to call it. With
Monza, it's going to be a crapshoot tonight. It's going to be lucky drive.
Yeah.
It's just going to be absolutely chaotic tonight. I think it's you basically survive the first corner and hope for the best.
No, we haven't done this before. We haven't done this on Monza, so I will take the great pleasure of showing you around the course. We're on board with Amanda Miles now. He's coming down to Prima Variant. Sorry, I said Valentina. Prima Variant. The chicane used to be a lot different. If you look back into the old F1 days, it used to be left then, right? Coming through Curva Grande. It's called Curva Biasono now, for some reason. It's Curva Grande. Coming through to second variant. This hasn't changed in quite... I don't think it has changed since its original implementation. A few tweaks in there, but still the same nice chicane. Through Lesmo 1. It is a third gear affair coming through at 145, 150 kilometers an hour. Make sure you're hugging the right hand side as you're coming down to the second variant. You're using the embankment on the left hand side as much as you can to gain as much speed down. It's Seraglio. It's a long word. It's called the Curva de Sagralio, but this is Ascari. It is the left, right, left. It is the left. Oh, sorry, Adam Miles kicking the car just coming on the exit of Variant Ascari. Ascari is probably one of my favorite bits of this course. It's just a very technical piece of track. If you hit the sausage curbs, you will die. If you don't hit the sausage curbs, but if you overcook it on the exit, you will die. And if you hit the wall or go into the gravel, you best hope that you know how to rally. Coming around Parabolica and then onto the final. Well, it's technically a bend in the road, but it goes all the way from where the start of Curva Grande is on the opposite side of the track, and that puts him in 5th position that lap with a 149.465. To give an idea of the other times at the moment, it is 148.772 for Harry Harvey. He is pole sitter at the moment. 148.850 for Ben Smith. Simon Dodd with a 149.120. He's doing pretty good this time around. Callum Bowman with a 149.390, 149.465 for Adam Miles. Martin Pearson with a 149.493. Jack Hills with a 538. Chris Miles going into the 50s now, 155.61. If this was the Top Gear leaderboards, he'd be in the middle of the table. And finally, James Goldstan with a 151.249. So he's not having a good time at this track either. I think
Ben Smith just coming around for his second lap right now. Crosses the line. It's slower. Not going to be doing anything there. So what about Harry Harvey in the BMW? He decides to pit as well. So he's going to stay with that 148.771. So just to give an idea of the track temperature, it is getting cooler. It's 32 Celsius. It started about 36 at the start of the session an hour or so ago. So it is getting cooler. Meanwhile, we'll look elsewhere. Simon Dodd coming across the line. James Goldstein coming across the line. What can he do? Does he improve? He does not. Simon Dodd will cross the line. He improves with a 149.056. That's enough for third at the moment. Elsewhere, Callum Beaumont decided not to go for a second lap. Chris Miles decided not to go for a second lap. Adam Miles is coming across the line. A 149.195 puts him fifth. And I don't think there's anybody else at the moment. Jack Hild is still out there. He will cross the line. It's one of the fastest tracks, one of the fastest laps around here at the moment. It's not good enough to improve him. It's a 149.849. So that will be seventh for Jack at the moment. He will be slowing down. But that is the first of the runners. First 10.
It does look like he did have a little bit of an accident with something. His front right is not looking too good.
Oh, I mean, after Friday in ILMS, I don't look at damage anymore.
So, who are our next contenders, Craig, for pole position here at Monza?
Right, let's have a look. 57. So, Harry Wills. So, we are going to go with Harry Wills, Sebastian Ryan, Andrew Miller, Christian Furtz, Stefan Kurtzman, Chris Hamer, Tom Johnson, Marius Yankee, Pascal Radschorn, Hugh Haycox, and Taylor Lane, and they will be the drivers we will see right now. So it will be a lot of Audis. I'm not going to lie, it's a lot of Audis. And I did see over the week that there were a few people that wanted to make a car swap to the Audi. Not just because of this track, but just for other reasons. The Audi has started to prove its strength, I think, more than anything in the series. Well, just in general in GT3s.
It's the slap of the sausage that's proving its worth, you know. Now, the cars that are going around now are mixture. Well, it was one pro in the last. Was it two?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry. One pro in the last. I see where you're going now. I'm trying to guess what you're saying. It's one pro in the last run, which was Adam Miles, and it's two pros this time with Hugh Haycox and Pascal Radschorn. That's what you were saying. I apologize.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah. We don't have a lot of pros out here tonight, I must be honest. Quite a stacked amateur field, but the pros are a little bit quiet tonight, which might be a good thing. Who knows? But I think the first car that will be trying to set a lap around here will be Chris Hamer in the Racing Sim Rigs car.
Yeah, he's just at the head of the pack, so I think he's got nice clean air to be able to do his lap. I think that's a theme more and more that I'm seeing throughout watching the qualifyings going by, is that they do definitely love to see a nice clean track ahead of them, because there's been a few occasions where drivers have overstepped each other and ruined each other. Well, not ruined, but has scuppered a very nice lap. The fine art of setting hot laps here, especially at Monza, is a very fine art, because it's a lot about timing, especially the first and second chicanes. You need to time your car exactly right. You're braking between the 150 and 100 meter mark, to get the car down to speed, so that you can actually take the chicane without, doing a Hamilton, locking his front brakes and having to take the walk of shame. And as you can see here, he's just braking near towards the 100 meter mark, just coming under the bridge of the old track. He's being chased by the car of, I think that is...
Okay, I was watching him because of the McLaren. One thing I wanted to point out, you say you brake under the bridge. If I recall, they've now removed that bridge. So if you go to any other sim, because a lot of people use the bridge as a braking marker. I don't know what they use nowadays. I think there's like an orange. I think there's like a red orangey mark on the side of the road that I think they use, like tarmac on the road, colored tarmac. I think they use that, but I've got to check that. But yeah, the bridge is now gone in real world. So especially if you go to another sim, you think, oh, I know where I'm braking, and then you're just like, where is it? It's gone.
Yeah.
Well, that's what happened to it. So I wanted to keep an eye on Marius Janke, in all due fairness, because it'd be interesting to see what the McLaren can do around here. I think he's the first He's the first of two McLarens that we'll see tonight in that beautiful Manatee livery. I just love the spec map on the Manatee. Is that a new spec map, or have they changed it anyway? I have no idea, but he'll cross the line in second place with a 148.767. Chris Hamer went fastest with a 148.681. Stefan Kurtzman goes ninth, and Patrick Raidillon goes second with a 148.728. Will go to Andrew Miller now. He'll be coming around at the corner. It's an invalid lap with Christian Wirtz going sixth. So some good times coming out at the moment. Tom Johnson invalid as well. So a couple invalids with two still to go. Taylor and Harry Wills. We'll see what they can do. The 48s is what we're expecting a lot of these cars to be doing. And that's what we're seeing. As we see Harry Wills comes across the line. P1 with a 148.389. And that just shows. That is practically going to be the average time tonight, really, a 148.
I'm assuming race pace, you're saying?
Yeah. Race pace. I think we'll be looking at 148. I mean, a lot of the cars were doing 148s tonight in practice. Actually, Harry Wills has decided that's good enough for me. 148.389. He says that's good enough for him.
Well, he's got the majority. He's thinking very tactically. He's got the majority of the amateur field behind him, so he can, get up to speed rather quickly. I mean, the grid is a unified grid, so everybody grids together. It's not split into two separate classes. So in that way, I think
he's 3/10 ahead of Chris Hamer. Like, why would you want to improve? That's a good gap between the 10 that you're racing in. So that's actually not a bad idea to just decide no. And Chris Hamer's gone wide. Has gone wide there at the Parabolica. So he will not be getting a better lap time.
That's a no-no for his second lap. So he is sticking with a 148.681. Tom Johnson will... will he actually set a lap? Well, he is on his first flying lap, so he'll be able to set a lap for us. Come on, Tommy boy. Let's see what you can do around Parabolic.
Come on, Tommy boy. What's this? Is this the play Tommy? Not the play. The stage play of Tommy. Are we going to have... what's his name from The Who? Forget his name now. Lead singer of The Who.
Oh,
anyway.
Tom Johnson posted a 9th position lap. Oh, well, in 10th position with a 148.979. Stefan Kurzman is posting a 9th position with a 148.942. So, Harry Wills has 18 other cars behind him at the moment. He'll have the pros to contend with now once they start getting out. He also has Joshua Mayer, the bouncy boy, the trampoline. I forget there was a third name we called it, but it's I'll call it the bouncy boy. It's there and it's ready to get ready. It's ready to get ready to go on track. And by the way, just to answer the question of Jean Alexanders, he is not participating in this race today. He is taking the evening off.
Oh, they're going to do a stagger of the top 10. Just because it's such a small lap, such a small track. They're going to be doing staggers. So Louis Eggerson and Neil Butler will be going out now. Just to give you an idea, all of these in the final 10 are pros bar Neil Butler and Joshua Mayer. So Louis Eggerson will be the first one in the Eggy car. I do love it.
Yeah, the Eggy car.
Every time I look at the back of that car, I see his number 54, and I always say it looks like it's Fraps. That's all I can think about. Every time I see the back of his car, is his Audi is running Fraps, because that 54
the 54 looks very square. Yeah, I get what you mean. But for anybody who's not in the knowledge of what Fraps is, it used to be a very popular screen recording software that essentially was the gold standard at the time until it fell out of favor because the likes of NVIDIA Shadowplay came onto the scene. And
people still use, sorry to interrupt, people still used it not for recording purposes, but because video games were not giving you an overhead FPS reader. So people were still running Fraps just for the FPS reader, which I thought was brilliant.
And it looks kind of like what the number 54 does on the back of his car.
Yeah.
Well, not kind of. It looks nearly exactly like it. I'm wondering if that's the inspiration he took. As he's coming around Ascari now. Very flat lining. He's actually warming the tires up by doing a slalom going down the back straight towards the Parabolica. Then he'll be starting his flying lap. Tristan Iglesias is also coming onto the track very soon. Neil Butler's on track. Mount Stumpf. He's going 11 kilometers an hour. No idea what's going on. What's going on?
He knows he's coming up next, but he's just waiting. But if he starts creeping to the front of the line, at least he'll give himself a better chance and also help the gaps. There's a 35-second gap between Louis and Butler. That gives you an idea.
His bloody teammate's doing the same thing. He was drifting out of his box.
Yeah, well, Mouth is now being asked to come onto track. So there you go. Now he's going to be speeding up. But we will wait. Louis Eggerson will be the first one to set a lap as he's coming around the Curva Grande. He is coming around. Now, the last time we did anything at Monza was the Fanatec GT1 series, which we do every Sunday. And that was a race without the first chicane. So we've not done a Monza race with the full GP layout for a while. So it'll be interesting to see, because without the first chicane, you cannot do the Curva Grande full speed. You actually have to brake or you have to lift. That is how much speed you carry going up that straight. So you can see why they needed a chicane put in, because it is that dangerous.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what he does. He's had a pretty nice start to the lap, by the way. Pretty decent second chicane. Got around the Lesmos with no issue. Ascari's going to be the next big one. He breaks around the 100 mark. He gets over the curve and nice, but he's gone a little bit wide. Did he get an off track there? Might have got an off track. We will wait and see. But comes around. He just turned in, I think, a little bit too, not enough, and he just had his car pointing the wrong, not enough, and he went almost over the inside of the Ascari. But he'll come around.
I'm sorry to laugh, but the way that you said that was he did a wrong not or he turned a wrong not enough as he's hugging the inside wall. I didn't know beta. I keep forgetting that beta is like not like a programming term, but it's an actual thing. And he did have his lap invalidated, and you were correct. He did actually go over the sausage curbs in the middle portion of Ascari. Which is something that you don't want to do at all. Not only because, you'll get an off track and it'll validate your lap, you will also feel the wrath of the sausage curb.
Rob, sorry. It's time. It is time to unleash the beast. Now, I'd love to know, where is he tonight? I would love to know what happened on getting the Ford to Monza. Because it got to Silverstone, they had to get some wooden boards so it could swim across the ocean to get to Silverstone last week. I'd love to know how it got to Monza. Did it go on the back of a cheese lorry or something? I would love to know. But here is the Ford. Yo-Yo's not here tonight. I have to make it up myself. Let's just say he got a lift on the back of a cheese lorry. Okay,
no,
that's how he got here.
Well, hang on. If we're speculating how this big trampoline got here, it's Italian. It's an Italian track. It's in Italy. So what do Italians love? They love coffee. That's one thing. What else do they love?
Pizza.
Yeah. So they either got transported on the back of a cheese lorry, which is very likely, or Nespresso and their famed, or well, their prolification for the coffee capsules.
He did not come in a coffee capsule.
No, not in a coffee capsule, but in the truck carrying coffee capsule.
Oh right, I'm with you. I was going to say, if he came in, if they literally grounded him into a capsule and then pulled him out and it all came out right. But oh man, that car. We've always talked about the bounciness. Just going over the curbs at the Parabolica looked very scary.
Yeah. I mean, Joshua keeps telling us it feels fine in the car. Outside of the car, have those suspensions been replaced with blocks of wood?
Update, by the way, of the times. Louis Eggerson, 11th with a 148.917. Neil Butler, 8th, a 148.782. Malt Stump has gone second with a 148.536. Tristan Iglesias will be the next one to set a lap time. He's coming around the Ascari right now. Oh, took a lot of the inside curve on the entry there. That's a really nice aggressive line. Misses the grass coming out of it. So that's a really good line. Neil Butler will be in front of him as well. He's coming around the Parabolica right now. I think I got my corners named up. No,
that is Parabolica.
Oh, for some reason I get them confused. I don't know why. But he comes across the line. He does improve to 5th with a 148.668. Iglesias will now come across the line. What will his time be as he crosses his first lap? Is a 148.333. That will put him pole.
Yeah, so now it's the march to see if they can get a 147. I can see it happening, but it'll be down to the likes of Linus, Liam McNinch, you know, the big boys, essentially. The big boys who set the big boy laps. And while on a hope and a prayer, I can imagine that the Ford can do a very fast lap. Around here, it suffers a lot from the chicanes. It isn't like a corner.
I just saw the Ford as it went over the curves on the entry into Ascari, and then as it landed, it did more bouncing. Anyway, Malt Stump is crossing the line right now. It's going to be a 148.144. He takes pole. Here comes the Ford. Joshua Meyer going really wide at the exit like you would normally do around the Parabolica. What is his time? Hugs the inside to get a bit more of a speed, a better line. So 148.201. It's second place for the Ford. And I think the only ones that are going to be setting a lap time at the moment is Mark Sonderman. Liam McNinch is now setting his first lap. And Milan Tikens is finally out.
Here is Le Pro driver. He's joining the RSR World Series. And this race in particular, he's teamed up with Louis Egerton. And the two of them are racing, well, in quote-unquote a team. But it's more of a loosely fitting thing. It's more just we're teams, but on the racetrack, I'll do a Senna on you if I have to.
What's a Senna? What are we talking about? Senna? Are we talking about?
Well, more when it's just like he'll go for a gap that is ever closing,
okay.
and he'll be like, you know, when he was like, if you don't go for the gaps, you're no longer a racing driver.
I'm with you now. I'm with you. Anyway, Mark Sonderman will be the first one to set a lap. It's a slow lap, 149.290. Not sure what's happened there. Joshua Meyer. Oh my God! I go back to him, and now he's bouncing on the inside of Ascari. Oh my God!
That suspension does not look well. It looks like. Oh no! He just gave up. Yeah, he was just like, nah, this is not gonna go.
So what about Liam McNinch? Let's see what he does. Now he hasn't had a pole all season. He's been up there. He's been really competitive. He's been up there. What can he do now? Again, I'm always worried when they come around the Parabolica at the end there. They almost go over. But he's going to set his first lap time, and it's going to be a 148.005. He takes pole, but he takes pole by one tenth there. So really good time, and he's still got time for another lap. And I think he needs to push on because I think he needs to get under the 48s. Because Linus Tech now in practice did a 147.206. And Milan Tikins did a 147.924. Liam has done a 147.945 in practice, so he can go faster, and I think he needs to go faster if he wants any chance at this pole position.
Yeah, we're on with Linus now. We're on the ball with Linus as he's starting his first flying lap. He will be the person to essentially, if there's anybody to set a marker and say, this is my land, this is the man, because he's been, as he said, he's been quick in practice, and he's absolutely ruthless when it comes to qualifying times. Even when Tim Matske was just there going, ha, that's cute, I'll set a new lap time. He can still be absolutely ruthless with the hot lapping, and we're hoping to see what he can do for us at the moment.
Oh, Mark Sonderman went sixth with a 148.621, and then Milan Tikins took that sixth place away from him with a 148.584. So not a good first lap by Tikins, and he's going to have to find a lot of time. Liam Ninch will be coming in around right now to finish his last lap. Oh, he's going very wide around. I think he may get he's just avoiding an off track there around the Parabolica, but he will cross the line, hugs the inside as much as he can, get that speed. It's a 147.762. He is now poled by almost 0.4 of a second. We wait for Linus.
Well, you can say that again. Well, not really wait, because he's right here, just crossing the line now. He does a 147.415. So, as I said, he just nails it out of the park.
I mean, if Tim was here, he would probably be doing the same lap times. Linus is just, Linus has always been a good racing driver, but throughout the series, I think his racecraft in the McLaren. I know he's driven the McLaren a lot, but I think his racecraft has gotten a lot better, and I think that's just proven it there, because that's a great time, and I think Matske would only probably beat him. I'm not downplaying Tim. I'm not playing up to Linus or anything. I think the gap between the two of them would only be about a 10th, if I'm brutally honest.
It also depends on the track, though, as well. I think where the McLaren did better, it was at very technical tracks, and when the Audi did better, it was at tracks that just basically went like, fly me to the moon. Right,
Milan Tikins just did a 148.204, enough for fifth. So Linus Tech now will be our pole sitter. He doesn't even need to set this lap. He could just basically do a victory if he wanted to.
I think he just wants to try it anyway.
I mean, what? Like I said, he did a 147.206 in practice. That was different weather conditions. I don't think he might get close to that, but that's finding 0.2 of a second. So as he comes around the Parabolica to finish the last car to set a lap in qualifying, he will come down into the pits. Yep.
So he basically just fibbed us off and just said, "Nah, I'm just gonna take my pits up."
It's the Mercedes strat.
Right, so that is qualifying over and done with. Well, I mean, in essence, it is over and done with because there's something else to qualify. So let's go over the results.
We shall. So Linus Tech now will take pole with a 147.414, followed by Liam McNinch with a 147.762, Malt Stump a 148.144, and the lead amateur driver Joshua Meyer in fourth with a 148.201. 0.003 of a second behind him is Milan Tikins with a 148.204 for fifth, and Tristan Iglesias sixth with a 148.333. Harry Wills, 7th, 148.389. Mark Sonderman in 8th, a 148.621, 0.003 of a second behind him. Pascal Radstrom with a 148.624. Sebastian Ryan in 10th with a 148.646. And Neil Butler 11th, 148.668. Chris Hamer, 148.681 for 12th. And Marius Yankee, 148.767 for 13th. Ben Smith, 148.771 is 14th, and Harry Harvey, 148.771 for 14th, and Ben Smith 15th with a 148.849.
Christian Furs in 16th position with a 148.883. Louis Egerton with a 148.917. Stefan Kurzman with a 148.942. Tom Johnson with a 148.979. Simon Dodd with a 149.057. So he's lifting himself out of the bottomless pit that he was finding himself in. In 21st position is Callum Bowman, 149.156. Adam Miles with a 149.196 is good enough for 22nd position. Andrew Miller with a 149.302. Martin Pearson with a 149.493. Jack Hills in 25th with a 149.538. Chris Miles getting into the 50s now with a 155.61. And then Josh Seymour with a 155.75. James Goldstein with a 151.249. And finally, Taylor Lane with a 155.981.
Who did not set a lap time in 30th. So the pro driver there, right at the back of the field. And there's only 30 cars here tonight, but that's still a recipe for destruction. We all know what Monza's like. I mean, if you've never raced at Monza on, it doesn't matter if you've raced it on iRacing, Gran Turismo Sport, Assetto Corsa, F1, every the F1 games, the list goes on. If you've never driven it, turn 1 is horrible. Everybody taking so many different speeds, so many different braking lines, so many different ways. You try to fit 2 around a corner, it does not work. If the guy in front of you is getting slow because they're held up behind him, you don't know and you start going on, you will hit him, you will spin him. That is literally most of the incidents on turn 1, on lap 1 of Monza, is due to no one knowing there's a bottleneck and they go on because they think the car in front can go on and there isn't. So I think that's where we'll see any incident, and I'm crossing my fingers, I'm touching wood, you might be able to hear me touch wood. I don't want to see that tonight. I hope we don't see that tonight. Let's just hope we get a clean start to this race.
Yeah, that's the hope anyways. The cars are starting to line up there. You can see them underneath the Seba in Granat. Oh, yeah, that's... I'm not going to even try. I don't think
Seba in Granati.
Yeah, well, you've got better Italian than I do, so...
I'm sorry, I don't. I just put an accent on and it works. Sorry. I mean, true fact, there are actually people that they can just speak, they can just mumble random stuff, but if they put the accent on, it makes them sound like they are actually speaking that language. Like, I remember seeing it. So if you actually know what the accent for the language is, you can just say gibberish and people, if you're that talented. So I'm not that talented.
Neither am I. They are revving their engines up. The safety car that is to the very left of your screens is just starting off his way now. And they will lead them around Ascari onto Parabolica. He'll pull in. And then Linus Tech now will have the privilege of leading these cars off.
I tell you what, they don't have Tim Matzke, but he's still seeing 3 manatees behind him. I mean, that must be horrible. Like, oh, I've got rid of Tim. I've got rid of Tim for one night. Oh, no, there's a manatee next to me. Oh, no, there's manatees behind me. Oh, no.
Oh. Now, rock, paper, scissors. Who will start the race?
Who will start? Linus will start the race.
No, as in like between us. Who will send them?
Oh, okay. I'm ready. You ready?
I'm ready.
3,
rock, paper,
2,
scissors.
Paper.
Okay. I win. I win. You'll have evidence on stream. So, as Linus Tech now with the car number 56 comes around the final corner around Parabolica. It is Manatee, and then a small sliver of IPR as they get ready to start this race. 60 minutes of Monza. Monza is about to start as soon as he hits that gas pedal. He's holding. Now he goes. The green flag is waving. Barney's not in his stall. He's not there. So they'll just have to assume that the green flag is gone. A very nice start from Linus Tech. He's just getting ahead of everybody else. And the Manatee cars are trying to fight amongst each other and try and get a position. And Tristan Iglesias is there trying to see if he can get a slice of the action. That is Josh Mayer trying to make sure that he doesn't hit anybody. Tristan Iglesias getting very nice and handy around. There's been an absolute incident in the cameras. Who is it? Oh, okay.
Harry Harvey has gone over a car at the back. Let me go down. You keep going on. Harry Harvey's gone over a car. It looks like Ben Smith just got a little bit turned from the sim racing car there of Chris Hamer. Just went to the inside, and then Harry Harvey gets hit from behind and just goes flying, and that's the only casualties we've had. Oh, there was one more casualty at the back. Chris Miles did hit a car. Oh, he just got hit from the inside by, looks to be James Goldstein there. Apart from that, that's the only damage incident we've had so far. Pretty clean from normal racing, if I'm brutally honest.
Yeah, unfortunately, you can see Ben Smith not having the best of days. Oh, he's trying to get back onto the track, but not having the best of days, getting knocked off from the start of the race is not something that you ever want to see. Let's have another replay again. I'd say we're leading down to the first corner, so we just try and see if we can get somebody up the field a little bit. Mario Sankey is probably a good start. Oh, sorry, who was that? That was Ben Smith coming on the inside. He hit somebody on his right hand side, and then got turned around as soon as that car was trying to, make the other corner, and yeah, that could have been very, very bad. On the angle that I had, it looked very bad, but at the very least, it's very fine.
Sorry to interrupt. Stefan Kurtzman has just gone flying by Louis Eggleston. He just missed the braking point, and Stefan Kurtzman goes slowly into the barrier, and it's bent his wing. That slow of an impact has bent his wing. I'm not sure how that works, but iRacing. But at the same time, something we need to pick up, Liam McNinch had a slowdown out of the first chicane, and that meant he's gone all the way down to P6. So he's lost some positions in the pro fights. He's now behind Iglesias and Tikens. That puts Joshua Mayer into third, which is, it puts Joshua Mayer into third. And I think he's had a slowdown. He has. So now Iglesias goes by him. Tikens might go by him. They're going to be going side by side. Oh my God, Tikens with an aggressive move, but a really good overtake there. Almost like a double fake. He does make the move. Mayer is now holding off for McNinch and Wills. Mayer's lost the lead of the amateurs to Harry Wills.
Yeah, you can see Harry Wills in front of him there, just having to sit on his rear wing just at the moment. That slowdown definitely did cost him. I think he was trying to serve it, and then it just didn't go away. He was trying to essentially switch it away, and that didn't work. And he basically became parked in the chicane because he was basically near the point where he was having to really start serving it, otherwise he was going to get a penalty. But he served it now, but in doing so he's lost first position to Harry Wills, who's now taken the lead.
Watching as well, Stefan Kurtzman with all that damage at the back of the field. Josh Seymour is still battling as well. There's a nice little battle happening near the middle of the field now. Where was that? I was looking. Joshua Mayer's all the way down there. I think it was in the P10 area there. Neil Butler defending off Christian Furtz at the moment. So the Raidillon TV car trying to make its way up, and this will be good. This will be good in the amateur to Christian Furtz and get this, but it'll be bad for Neil Butler, the current leader. It may actually just go down as a drop week for him if he does not have a good finish here. Remember, it's 60 minutes. It's not two races today. It's one race. As Joshua Mayer goes by Harry Wills right now. This is the lead of the amateurs. He does get the toe, and he managed to get by. He's a good half a car in front of Harry Wills. Harry Wills with some better braking. He wants to try and send it on the inside. Does make it, and there's going to be a little bit of a touch there at the back for Mayer. No damage. But he has lost the lead. What a move there from Harry Wills. I thought he didn't have it, but the early braking of the Ford just worked in favour of Wills there, and was able to get back there and fight through the first chicane. There won't be a counter fight right here at the second chicane. He will keep it, but some good attacking there from Harry after losing the lead of the amateurs.
There's still fighting going on in the background. I think that is that, oh no, we've got another car going off.
That's Simon Dodd going into the back of Chris Hamer. Chris Hamer got held up by the cars in front of him, and he's been hit and spun around. Now, what else has happened there? Is there any more damage? Oh, he went back onto the track. Oh, he got pushed back on. Doesn't cause any issue almost when the car rejoins, but manages to get around. So, and now he's had another accident coming through Lesmo. He's lost the car coming through Lesmo 1. And, there's chaos behind him. That's Ben Smith who's gone into the back of him after losing it. Everyone's trying to get around him. Ben Smith gets tapped behind from Adam Miles as they're trying to avoid it. So a lot of avoidance there is causing more damage to the cars.
Not a good start for plenty of people. Chris Hamer Ben Smith and Stefan Kurzman definitely not having the best of days, and you can just see, oh.
Shall we go for round 2 of this amateur battle, by the way? Joshua Mayer is going ahead right now. You know what? He's not even using slipstream. He just gets a better launch out the final corner. He is on his way right now. There is half a car. He's made sure he's going to be fine. He's taking the inside. It's almost a whole car at the moment. He's got the lead of. He will take this. What will be the response from Wills? It's nothing. He can't do anything with Mayer on the inside. Mayer will get a great launch coming out of the first chicane. And he may actually, that's half a second lead now Mayer's made. Great move then. He had to be on the inside because he was afraid of that late braking from Wills. But Mayer reclaims the lead of the amateurs.
Yeah, Mayer, they had the full car length. He had passed Harry Wills by about half a car length just before they were getting into the corner. So Harry Wills had nothing.
Hang on, he's going to have another go at it. Mayer's had a bad second chicane, sorry to interrupt. Lesmo 1, they go through side by side. Wills having to take the inside, the very dangerous inside right by that wall. They're still side by side going into Lesmo 2. And this is the corner where you will get it if you're on the inside. They are still side by side. Yes, I'm not joking. They have not given up a position. Mayer has that faster car with the Ford. Wills is forced to go in behind. They've got the pro of Radshaw and Sonderman. Now, they're not racing each other, but he does not want to interrupt this battle. Wills has to defend at the same time. Radshaw wants to go on the inside. Now they're going side by side. He just gets around, but he's losing time on Mayer. This may be a situation he has to let these pros go by. But if he lets those pros go by, Christian Furtz is behind these two pros. Behind Wills, it's Radshaw and Sonderman, and then the amateur driver of Furtz. And Radshaw and Sonderman, they're going to be going side by side right now. With Radshaw in the inside, Sonderman on the outside. Side by side, they go around the Parabolica, and it looks like Radshaw will take the nose there when they cross the line. He will take that position. Got to be careful right now they don't touch. Going to be a drag race, and it'll be interesting to see these cars. It almost looks like side drafting is allowing the Audi of Sonderman here. We'll keep on this battle right now. Yes, Sonderman is now getting ahead, but what can he do? He'll be on the outside, so he has to be careful. There's a little bit of a touch, and they break, and he goes onto the grass, and he takes him out, and he takes Tratema over the back, over the sausages. He'll be forced to take a slow down there. Where has happened to him? He is still spinning. He's got damage on the rear of his car. No wing damage though, but he has lost all of position. He is now down. He's down now by quite a while. So I was looking at Sebastian Rain with the damage, not Sonderman, but that was close. He just went for, if this was Rents, that was a double kill.
Why did you have to say that? That's cursed.
Sorry. But Harry Wills, I'm gonna be honest, I'm surprised Harry Wills got out of that clean, because he went over that first sausage cut. He went over that first sausage and was able to get around, but he just got caught late by that. It was unlucky, unfortunate more than anything, but does keep his P2 in the amateurs and keeps his car in one piece.
Yeah, I'm surprised. There's no damage on the rear of that car. I was expecting to be quite a lot of rear damage or even floor damage from riding over the sausage curb. I can't see anything. Unless he's got floor damage, in which case I won't be able to see anything. But we will know very soon if he does. Well, yeah, but unfortunately he also has to serve a slowdown. Oh, there's a car in the background going extremely wide. Who is that? It's Sebastian Rain going extremely wide. I want a replay of this. What's going on?
Why don't you do that just to let you know that last lap McNinch took P4 away from Tikins, and now he's on the back of Iglesias. He is all on the back of Iglesias right now. He's going to swing over to the inside coming up to the first chicane. They break at the same time. And does he make it? Oh, he dies over the curve and almost goes into Iglesias. And now there's no difference. They're going to be side by side coming around the Curva Grande, coming down into the second chicane right now. But Iglesias has the inside line. He's going to go a little bit further, longer around because he's on the outside of that Curva Grande. He's on the inside though for second chicane, and he will keep his position. Good defending there from Iglesias, but McNinch could have had a better line, and Tikins is going to pounce on this. He will come into Lesmo 1, take that P4 back from McNinch, and now he'll be going for Iglesias. These guys here for third, fourth, and fifth are pretty much together by a second, and it's going to be a fun race to watch these, while the others in front are just miles away.
Yeah, Linus Tech now, essentially Linus Tech out. You know, he's checking out. Sorry, I had to put a play on his last name. He's not. He's just lapping so much faster because he doesn't have to deal with the battles. He lapped only about a tenth of a second faster than Mount Stumpf in the last lap. But at the start of the race, everybody was fighting. Everybody was. Are we still live?
We're still live.
Yeah, I just got dropped frames. I think that was because of issues with storms. So if you do see dropouts, I apologize. It's just storms.
I'm sorry to interrupt right now. We'll try and get on with that because there is a storm in the air. Marius Janke tried to go around Christian Furth going to the Parabolica. Could not make it, and Neil Butler decides, you know what? I'm going to go inside. So Janke and Butler side by side going up. And in front of them is Christian Furth. Janke in this McLaren is speeding along. He's now up side by side with Furth. No slipstream. That is how fast his Manatee McLaren is today. He will hold that position into P10. And I'm sorry, I'm just gobsmacked at how fast that McLaren was on the straight. Like,
oh, sorry, we just had an accident. Sorry, we just had an accident. That was kind of Bowman. Sorry to interrupt. What happened here? Okay, hang on a minute.
Oh no.
Let's let this play out. Let's let this play out. Oh,
let it play out.
Poor car 25 just got onto the ground. Martin Pearson, and then hit the rear end of car 28 of Callum Beaumont, who then just, yeah, it just fell out.
Was that just because of grass? We saw that earlier in practice, to be fair. Watching at the moment Pascal Radshaw and Harry Wills going around. They lost a little time there, Radshaw and Wills, but they're not fighting for a category. They're just fighting for race position. So we'll just give you an idea, give you an update. Linus Tech now is 4 seconds ahead of Malt Stump in the lead. Iglesias is behind them 4 seconds as well from Stump. Behind him now is Liam McNinch right on his bumper. It's going to be another attack here for McNinch. If he can get this right now, because he did not have a good entry a couple of laps ago. He's not side by side. This Mercedes, doing really well. Now they're side by side into braking. And Iglesias has to turn late and he goes over the sausages. He will not get a slowdown, I don't think. But McNinch gets the better line out of the corner. So he will take P3. But now Iglesias on the attack. Now remember, they went side by side into the second chicane last lap. What can he do this time? He will now go ahead and McNinch is trying to push him over. They're almost going to collide if they're not careful. Iglesias takes that back. And all this, well, no, actually, hang on 1 second. Iglesias has gone off. He will take a slowdown there. Iglesias will lose not only P3 and 4, he loses P5 to Teekins, and Teekins is now right on the back of McNinch, and I was waiting for this. He was going to pounce when one of these two made a mistake, and that's what's happened right now. Teekins is in P4, and he's catching McNinch.
Yeah, there's issues right now. You can still hear me, right?
I can still hear you. So if you're able, do you want me to just keep going while
you? Yeah, just keep going. There's something. It's either something wrong with the streaming service or something. But if you can still hear me, then yeah, I have no idea.
We still hear you. James Goldstein has retired for the race. I will keep going right now with the dulcet tones of my voice. We will keep going right now. Teekins, a little bit of a sloppy Ascari there, but comes around the Parabolica, hugs the inside, might get a better line out of here. Oh, McNinch is using every bit of that runoff right there. He actually gets a better runoff. I said runoff twice there when I didn't mean to. He gets better. Teekins will have to go take it very late if he wants this move. Might just have to wait a little bit for this, but we'll see when he comes up the straight. He can't make a move. He might just lift off a bit and just brake. Yeah. He's just going to be waiting. Meanwhile, we look behind as well. There is some battles going on. Marius Janke is catching up to that battered side of Sebastian Ryan. This is for P11 overall. He will take this position with no issues. I don't think Ryan wants to fight this. Oh, he's going to turn in early. Oh, that was a recipe for disaster. Ryan does hold on to that position from Yankee, but I don't think he's going to be able to hold on much longer. They'll come around to the Curva Grande, and he will try and make another move. Will Yankee over Ryan comes around. They just got to be careful. He's faster than Ryan, but he has to lift up a bit. He can't literally go around. Until now, side by side they go down into the second chicane. He's got the lead. They touch. Ryan goes off. He goes flying off over the chicane, over the sausages. That was not intentional. Yankee will take the position. Ryan is off though. Where is he now? And that's a lot of damage going over those sausage cars and more. And the back of that car now looks worse than it did before. Woo! Ben Smith has retired as well. Did not see what happened there to Ben Smith. We can get a replay, we will. But at the moment, everything's looking... Sebastian Ryan, by the way, has moved into 15th after that. Was 11th, now 15th. So that was the damage he has taken there.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's... I'm pretty sure it's not us. I think the storm is not even paying attention to the internet. I think it's just that the restreaming service is having a bit of a hiccup. But it's alright, we'll press on. If you do see drop frames, please don't hurt us. We're sorry.
Was that Chris Hamer has... Was that Chris Hamer on the... Yeah, Chris Hamer has pulled the car in, I think. Did not... just parked on the start-finish line there. No idea why. McNinch has extended his lead over Teekens by a second. And now the guy sitting third in the championship is third in the race and is pushing. If he can extend his lead over Teekens to get away from the slipstream, he might be able to make a move on Stump. They did identical times last lap at 149. 4.21 for McNinch and a 4.11 for Stump as he hits the gravel over the second chicane. So might be able to catch on to his Manatee teammate right now, because I don't think Teekens is able to catch up right now. We'll wait and see. I mean, fair credit to Teekens. It's his first time racing in the series, so doing a really good job as it is. So we're not going to discredit anything he does. He did start 5th, is moved up a spot, doing all he can. Just an update on the amateurs. Ever since Joshua Meyer got past Harry Wills, 4-second lead now. The amateur driver, the amateur driver leading the race at the moment for the amateurs, 4 seconds ahead, and I think that's what we're expecting. In fact, everybody really at the front of the field is starting to spread out a bit, with 42 minutes remaining. It's quite spread.
Yeah, I think that's what Mayer kind of wants, is something that he can just put in lap times without having to fear anybody, because he can beat them without like speed, but in the corners he's quite hippity hoppity. I'm a trampolini thing, as we saw in qualifying. So, well, if he says it's stable, I intend to believe the man, because he drives the car, but that does not look stable.
I mean, what did he say earlier? We were talking about it. He said the Ford doesn't bounce that much. You just have to find the right ratio front to back. So yeah, that was broken English. You have to find the right ratio between front and back springs. So he says it has tracks that are worse, i.e. Monza. But in my honest opinion, it's the nicest driving GT3. Well, let's be honest. If this is his worst track and he's 4 seconds in the lead, touch wood, I'm not gonna question him.
No, neither would I. So yeah, just keep. Oh, Simon Dodd, sorry. Oh, we just had an incident. It is Tristan Iglesias and Liam McNinch. What on earth? Let's have a look at this, shall we?
Oh, McNinch spun around the parabolica. Ooh. And he's in the middle of the track now.
Oh, that is not nice.
Right, so now where's the engine on the Mercedes? Is it the front or the back?
It's at the front.
Right, Iglesias might have some engine damage then, or some intercooler damage, because that was a hard hit. We'll wait and see. But that was a hard hit. McNinch has dropped all the way down to 7th. The back of his car looks worse for wear. The wing's okay though. and he's only lost 2 spots in the pro category. But that's still a big deal that he's lost 2 spots in the pro category.
Well, he'd be losing more though, because well, I mean, the engine's visible.
That is one sad looking.
And that he's still Hello? He's still going? Question mark?
There's no meatball. No meatball in that car.
I just confirmed, by the way, it is not my internet. So thank you, Virgin Media. You're very reliable. It is the Restream service that's having an issue. So.
Whoa! We're not sponsored by internet companies now.
No.
Come on. Other internet companies are available, by the way, people.
We still have to toe the BBC line. Sorry, Christian Furs, by the way. Not making the chicane and having to very quickly and very evidently having to hop into the cones of shame, or not hop into the cones of shame, hop into the lane of shame, and just having to take a slow down to avoid having a collision. The rest of the track is pretty clumped up. So what I mean by that is that there's groups of 2 or 3 drivers sitting around each other. Liam McNinch and Tristan Iglesias. What is Tristan doing? He's weaving.
Pass. I have no idea. Let's keep on to this. Actually, is McNinch keeping up with Iglesias with all that damage? He is. Only just. It'll be interesting to see when they come around this start-finish straight. What happens?
I would have argued that McNinch is better for wear than Tristan is. Tristan has his engine visible.
I really just noticed that. Yeah.
I was just thinking, are you sure me and you are looking at the same car?
That Mercedes engine, though. Look how beautiful it looks. But to be fair, his engine's showing.
Oh, I actually have a view. Look at it.
Oh, wow. You don't see the Mercedes badge, though. That's the only thing. You don't see the Mercedes badge, but that is, wow, that quality. By the way, camera provided by trackcams22.com. We do have them, a link to them underneath the video. We also have a link to our Discord and the live timings. Something I always forget to hype up, I'm sorry. We do have live timings, but look at this gaggle. Oh boy, look at this gaggle behind Iglesias and McNinch. Oh, Raidillon and Egerton want some of this right now. They can see it. They want some of this right now, and they're actually closing the gap. And then behind them is Christian Furtz in the Raidillon TV car. So there is now a line of cars. It looks scary, if I'm brutally honest. McNinch has to get by, but I don't think he has the speed.
Sorry, that's the wrong... Here we go. I think this is where he spanned. It is. This is where he spanned. On the replay, this is Liam McNinch going into... Oh. Hold the brakes. Hold the brakes. Hold that. Yeah, that. A single tear ran down Mario's face. But hi, Tim. How are you doing? And hopefully you like the way we did the replays. You know, the pizzazz.
Yeah. Good evening, Tim. You've not missed anything, to be fair, apart from very clean. And at the moment, I'll tell you what else is clean. Liam McNinch is trying to get past Iglesias. He got so far as putting his front wheel on the back wheel, but it's not meant to be. So let's get this straight. The guy who has no hood, showing all of his internals of that Mercedes engine, is able to pull away from a car that the only damage it has is a little bit of crumpling on the nose and a lot of crumpling on the back. I'm sorry, but surely having no hood would be more of a detriment to your aero than having a front, right? Please, somebody?
Well, I'm not the person that... Oh, sorry, Liam McNinch going side by side with Tristan Iglesias going into Parabolica. Sorry, not Parabolica, Curvo. Curvo Lesmo 1. Sorry, I got too excited. I used the wrong track corner name. And I would like to say that the gaggle's caught up. So it's gone from 2 to 5. And I was actually
Louis,
panicking. Louis
Good
is
boy.
Louis
Good boy.
wanting him to make it 3 wide, and 3 wide through Ascari is something you
They're
never
too
want.
wide from Ascari. They were too wide from Ascari for a moment. Sorry to interrupt. McNinch lost that position to Raidillon, and then in the middle of Ascari, he took it back. I don't think I've ever seen that around in the middle of Ascari. But now they're going to have another go, and Egerton, where can he go? Where can he go? He wants to get by. There's nowhere to go. No, he's collided. No.
Poor Liam McNinch, it's gone from bad to worse for him. This is what exactly happened. It is shopper view time. Oh, car of number 54.
Yeah, sorry.
Car number 54, Louis Egerton, just overextending himself and hitting the rear right of Liam McNinch. So Liam McNinch has gone from bad to worse in terms of his luck. So he'll have to fight essentially from the back of the grid, it seems, for his view. He's in 13th position now, but he is the second last pro on the grid.
I mean, he lost 2 positions. He lost 2 positions in the pros there, but it's still a big deal. And he was considering pitting with 33 minutes to go, but he realised that he's not going to be able to get it back out. So decides against it. So does not go out. I want to give a shout out to Andrew Miller right now, the number 14. He's currently sitting 5th in the amateurs. Nothing impressive. But he's made up 12 places overall on this race. Started 23rd, is now 11th. He may not have had the hot lap speed, but he has drove a pretty, I wouldn't say considerate or basic time. He's basically kept that car out of trouble. And look at him, he's catching up to this gaggle of 5. Oh, I'll tell you what, it looks amazing. You're watching from Andrew Miller's view, and you see just these 5 cars weaving around Ascari. Looks beautiful. But at the front, Christian Burtz is now trying to make the move on Louis Egerton. Again, not for position, just track position. They're an amateur and a pro. But with how the slipstream is around here, you kind of have to take those moves. Because if you don't, you're going to be holding yourself up. You need the slipstream here. And we're going to see laps on laps right now. Loads of laps right here as Raidillon tries to attack Iglesias right here. They're going to be going side by side up the straight. Raidillon will take it. Iglesias is just going to pull off.
Ooh.
Oh, he slowed down, not realizing there was cars behind him. That was a little bit dicey.
Christian first, very brave with his brave pills today, because he just sent it on the outside line of Tristan Iglesias trying to get past. I don't think he was expecting to see car Tristan Iglesias being that slow, and when he tried to rejoin the racing line, I think he was holding his buttocks. Oh, sorry. Oh, Tristan Iglesias not having a very good section through the second variant, and he's hitting the side of Louis Egerton, who makes it pass, but the car is not looking too happy at all. And now Andrew Miller is the next person to try and go by. I think Tristan will let him go, even though it'll be an amateur overtaking a pro. I think the amateur even now, I think he's just having to. Oh no, he's not letting him go. Oh, that's a very. He cut himself off, or he had himself cut off by Louis Egerton, who closed the book on him, or closed the door. Sorry, and he's actually lost even more time now. What is this weaving?
Right the toe, or is he trying to yield the position but not knowing where the guy is? Marius Yankee went into the pits, by the way. He was part of this gaggle, decided against it. Need to also mention the championship leader for the amateurs, Neil Butler, had an accident a few laps ago where he lost it out of the second chicane, went into the pits to get repaired. He's 7 laps down. So it's pretty safe to say that this is a write-off for him, and this will be his drop week. So now it all depends on what the other drivers can do. And with Joshua Mayer in the lead at the moment for the amateurs, 7 seconds up the road from Harry Wills, second in the amateurs. Pretty safe to say that, well, no, it's not safe to say until it's over. We're at the halfway point. I'm touching the wood, if you can hear. He might have this, Joshua Mayer in the Ford, but we'll wait and see.
Just seeing the cars going by. I miss the noise that the Z4 makes, by the way. It's such a weird, sort of shrill noise and tone it takes with the engine. But it's still
better than the Ferrari. Better than the Ferrari going.
Yeah, well, that's just a replay issue, though. So, you know, you can hear that, and then you hear the what?
Gargled transmission.
The subtitles, audience applause.
Okay, Valtteri, radio check on the backup radio. Sorry for anybody with a mic listening with that and getting a lot of noise.
Yeah, it isn't us, I swear.
If anyone does have does have any audio issues with my microphone, please let me know.
No, it's fine. I think
brand new setup.
Yeah, it is a brand new setup. It is a Blue Yeti, and you got the peaking fixed. That was the main thing. I was hearing peaking, but we can up the quality. I think we just need to go into your settings and see about doing that. Right now, it is Pascal Radshon. Pal Radshon. I was supposed to say my pal Radshon and Louis Egerton fending off Andrew Miller. It's Christian versus Pascal Radshon. You know, Pascal's not for position for Christian first, so I would say he'd be better off letting him by if he's faster. He wasn't on that last lap, by the way. He was 0.6 of a second slower than Christian first. So Christian first is putting in a fair few laps, and he's actually the faster car in terms of best lap as well. His average lap is about 2 to 3 tenths of a second faster than Pascal Radshon. So Christian first is flying at the moment.
Are we saying it just because he's a Raidillon TV car?
No. Switching cameras. You see nothing, you hear nothing. Well, if this is the BBC, why don't we just give the opposite side of the coin? It's like, and RSR is doing very well as well. They're doing 149s.
Yeah, you know, and also because this is the BBC, we have to give the third party. Midland Sim Racing is doing very well as well at the moment. How's that?
Yeah, we've covered ourselves now. Oh, sorry. Louis Egerson's... He's not... I feel like the car's upset for him. He's not having the best of times as Andrew Miller is actually racing. Oh! Louis Egerton having the call late. Almost slammed into the side of Andrew Miller. Jesus. That was very close. Coming through Parabolica now. No accidents, but... Ooh, that was a bit... Ooh. Bit touchy. You know, it's a bit too close for my comfort. But he pulled out just in time, not slamming into the side of Andrew Miller. And I think the two of them are actually racing at the moment, which is bad news for Louis Egerton because as he was sort of getting away from the rear end of or the front end, well, the Magno front end now of Tristan Iglesias. There's this upstart amateur of Midland Sim Racing attempting to try and essentially get by him, and you know, shouldn't be racing nearly as much as they are. Should just, you know, cut their losses and move on. But I think Andrew thinks that he is the faster of the two, and he's trying to assert that, but unfortunately Tristan Iglesias is laughing with delight that Louis Egerton is again. They've just Louis Egerton hitting the rear end of Andrew Miller. Andrew Miller overtook him coming into the second Lesmo, and then lost it coming through second Lesmo. Or not lost it, but he went wide going to the exit of the second Lesmo, and Louis Egerton touching the rear end of that car. No damage, I don't think, though. Yeah, there was no damage on that car, surprisingly enough.
It's clean at the moment. Everything's clean. Let's everybody just stay calm. Stay calm as... doing the best. I was not live there for a moment, but Louis Egerton was going a little bit wide on the exit of Viscari there, but holding on. Andrew Miller now decides to blink.
Yeah, I was being like, please don't blink.
After all that work Andrew Miller did to get into P4 in the amateurs, for him to do a blink, and he goes to the pit so Marius Yankee went into the pits earlier, by the way. He decided he was going to make he was right in that middle of that 5 and just decided, I'm going to pull out, going to do a bit of an undercut. He's currently sitting, well, he's 21st. He's just come out the Ascari. So this will be interesting as we look for Andrew Miller, as he is in the pits right now. Where is Marius Yankee? And Taylor Lane's in the pits as well. So Yankee coming in around the final corner. He will keep all the speed. Let's just keep an eye on this because I'm curious to see where he comes out. Andrew Miller is now slowly leaving the pit lane. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And Marius Yankee is going to get by him. So really good decision there by Yankee to take the undercut by a few laps, by 5 laps, and just play on the fuel there. The advantage of the fuel that the McLaren has does get ahead of there. So that's actually promising for him. Will he get into the top 3 in the amateurs? Maybe. That would be a tough chance. We'll wait and see, but that's promising for his championship contention. If he's got past one driver, can he get past another?
Well, the thing is, with the lap times he was setting 150.1s, 150.2s, and he was being pretty consistent with those lap times, so he was actually gaining about 4 or 5, 3 or 4 tenths of a second a lap per lap over the last 8 or 9 laps, and he was having clear error as well, so that just made things much easier for him to be able to take the undercut and be able to come back out. So he's now what? I'm trying to do the math here.
He's 7 seconds ahead of Andrew Miller.
Yeah, 7 seconds. It's they were fighting amongst each other before. Well, they were sitting amongst each other before. Now Marius Zank is paying dividends even at this early stage of the undercut. The other drivers will all have to essentially pit. They won't have enough fuel to make it to the end, no matter how much they rub their lucky stones. So he'll need to make the most of the clean air that he has, even though he will have cars, in and around him trying to make do with the position that they're sitting in right now. Pascal Raidillon chasing down car number 6, or the car in 6th position, the car 96 of the Raidillon TV Racing, Christian Furs, who's sitting 9 seconds behind. Second in amateur, 5th overall, Harry Wills, and Joshua Mayer is 3 seconds ahead of him. Now, over the last lap, Harry Wills is actually faster than Joshua Mayer and posted the fastest lap time that he's done this race of a 1:49.125. It was invalid, but it still is his fastest lap at the moment for all the laps that he has done.
Sorry, he's going faster again, it feels like, or Mayer's just not having a good time, because the gap at the start of this lap was 6.1. It went down to 5.7 as Wills hit the Ascari. So it's going to be interesting to see what times he sets now. Has Wills just slung it all together right now, or is Mayer having some issues? We'll just see. Mayer's going to be crossing the line right now. It's a 1:49.295. What does Wills respond with? It's actually faster. No, it isn't. It's a 1:49.248, so it's not faster. It looked faster, but he's losing.
He's faster by 5/100ths of a second, slowly catching. But will it be enough to catch him within the last few laps? As we're coming down to 21 minutes to go, lap 22 out of 34 predicted. And this man is your leader, Linus Tech now, leading 11 seconds to Malch Stumpf. So he's basically on cruise mode at the moment, and he's posting lap times in the 1:48s consistently. The last lap was a 1:48.953. Malch Stumpf could only reply with a 1:49.374, so he was 4 tenths of a second slower on that last lap, and they're still falling back. The rest of the fields posting 1:49s, 1:49s, 1:50s, and then the occasional 1:51, 1:52 here. But across the board, it's about a 3-second delta between lap times for those within, the 95th percentile or the 90th percentile. And this man's he's just out there. He's skewing the graph left because of his very quick lap times.
Also, Joshua Mayer is catching up to Teekins. That's not a battle for position. It's just track position. But he's doing some really good times, Meyer, at the moment. A 149.3 in the last lap. Well, just under a 149.3 the last lap, as he was talking about with Wills. They're all doing really well. So really, it's really good to see the amateurs. A lot of them doing better than the pros at the moment. Just some really good racecraft by these drivers. Still waiting for these pit stops. But as the more they have these pit stops, the more this is playing in Yankee's favor. Because I'm really curious to see down the middle here with the Iglesias, the Sondermans, the Eggersons, the Furts, the Hills. You know, these are the guys that would be what Yankee's going to overtake. So with the way he's going, I think he'll get into the top 5 with the amateurs if the pit stop play his favor, Yankee. Maybe not top 10. He's 70 seconds. Not 7. Yeah, 7. Yeah, about 7. Am I looking at that wrong? I am looking at that wrong. About 50 seconds behind the guy in P2. So, yeah, doubt he'll get a top 3, but he's on course for a really good result, and mainly just due to that undercut. So we will keep an eye out on that. Nobody else at the moment I can see is going for the pits. 18 minutes remaining. They have 80% fuel. That's the fuel limit today, so they will have to pit, as we have seen. Iglesias still out there with that car as he bobbles over the second chicane and losing time on Sonderman. McNinch still out there, slowly catching back up to Iglesias. Both those cars, I would have pitted if that was me. It's just crazy to see how they're doing right now, but I don't have the cojones to do that, as Furtz is right in front of Eggerson right now, giving the position over to Radshawn. Won't be a move here. Will he give it up? Well, Malt Stumpf has gone into the pits, by the way. So the P2 car is in the pits. Had a 10-second lead over Teakins, so we won't get an idea of how far, like what he gains in the pits, but those 10 seconds, if he's got a little bit to play, he will do it. Teakins also goes into the pits, so if they've got any damage to play with, you know, just by going over the curves a bit too hard, if there's like a 5-second optional, you take it in this situation right now, I think.
Yeah, well, I thought it would have been better to take it earlier. If you had damage, you would have taken it earlier. You know, you would have suffered in terms of losing raw time, but with a better car, you would have been able to make up for that. But yeah, you're right. There is, if the damage is solvable within like the 4 to 5 second mark, you may lose, a position or two, given the fact that the gaps right now are averaging about 2 to 3 seconds. So
everybody in, by the way, everybody in. Harry Wills, Radshawn, Furt, Eggerson, Sonderman, everybody comes in right now. Where is Yankee, actually? Where is Yankee? That's a good question. He's coming up the start-finish straight, so he's not going to get past Harry Wills. He's already at the pits, but he's going to get past a lot of people. Radshawn he's just coming by Radshawn. He gets past Furt. He gets past first 4 seconds. Wow, that's good. So he actually claims a couple spots there by doing that massive undercut. He's in P4 for the amateurs. That's, like I said, that's really good. And he's only
P3,
7 seconds
P3,
behind
P3.
Harry Wills.
He took the podium spot away from the Raidillon TV car.
Oh, sorry, P3. Yeah, sorry. I forgot that Christian Furtz was P3. That's fantastic. What a move.
Yeah, that is the kind of move that you're just extremely satisfied with. Just being able to sort of hold your cards very close to your chest and play them early, and then once everybody runs out of the room screaming, you take the chips and you run away with them.
Tech now in the pits, and well, that looks like a NASCAR pit stop with how he was angled for a moment there. I gotta be honest, that was quite funny. Mayo's in the pits as well. Be interesting to see is he's just coming up to his pits. He does. Well, come on, guys, get your car straight. Come on. We want to have some courtesy here. Keep your car straight in the pit box. Make it easier for everybody. But no, Mount Stump will go by him as expected. Where will Milan Teakins go by him? Now this will be interesting. 4 seconds, 3 seconds, just past him. Yeah, and then Harry Wills. Let's see what the gap is between Wills and Mayo once they get up to the first chicane. It's just under 10 seconds at the moment. It's going to be 9 seconds. So, yeah, not too bad. 9 seconds is still a workable time. So good pit stop there for Mayer. Actually gained a bit of time on Teekins there. So he must have had a little less time in the pits there compared to Teekins.
Marius Yank in 3rd position, Christian first in 4th position, and then you have Tristan Iglesias, who's a pro. He's losing positions here because he's not repairing his damage. He's still completely, utterly damaged.
I mean, it's a good thing we don't show the front of these cars because we'd be a mature stream at the moment, because that's just filth. Like, how dare the Mercedes shows its engine off? Someone just responds in YouTube chat, "Hello, ladies." Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah.
Oh my! Look at this engine. Oh,
oh
rated.
my! Look at that engine. It's just so big. It's so attractive, so powerful.
Oh no! No! This is a crazy. Oh, take over, please.
I'm just leaving you out to dry.
Why do you do this to me? My stomach can only take so much. I'm getting a cramp. I can't.
Alright, you sort your cramp out. I'll tell everybody what's going on. Because not a lot's going on, let's be brutally honest at the moment. In terms of like battles for classes, there's nothing happening at the moment.
Yeah, there is. In the back.
What, for classes?
Yeah. Martin Pearson.
Where?
Martin Pearson. Oh no, sorry. Yeah, Martin Pearson, Sebastian Rain, and Stefan Kurzman are all fighting for amateur position.
Oh, they are. Good catch.
And Louis Eggerson and Adam. Am I reading that right? Louis Eggerson and Adam Miles are fighting for position? Yeah, they are.
Are they?
Yeah, they are. Yeah,
they are.
I was surprised by that as well, because I thought Louis Eggerson was top 10.
Have you seen the back of that car?
Yeah, well, it's a lot better than most. The front of the car is where I'm most concerned.
But he's had damage. Where's he had damage? Lap 25. He's picked up damage going over the curbs at Ascari. iRacing strikes again. He did. Oh no. You know that sausage at the end of Ascari, the one that you never go over? Yeah, he went over it.
Oh, okay. Oh dear.
He went on 2 wheels. I joke with all the times that Louis still gets the videos of him going flying at Suzuka. I think that he kind of needs a sign on the top of his car that reads "this side up." But I mean,
on like the side of the car or something.
Yeah, we haven't shown what's on the top of his car at the moment, but it's gravity. He's basically got gravity crossed out, I think. So that just gives you an idea. He has a slide. He hits that curb again on Ascari. Loses time to Adam Miles. There's no... I wouldn't say there's any aero damage. And he didn't go over the center. He didn't put all the car over that sausage. So I don't think there's going to be engine damage. But it was a lot of damage. Yeah, it was a lot of flying, I mean, in all due fairness.
Just the way that you termed that as well. It's just like, there's a lot of engine damage. Or that's a lot of damage.
That's a lot of damage.
Anyways.
Well, what was it? Flex seal, wasn't it? That's a lot of damage.
Oh, that's a lot of damage.
Marius Yankee, I mean, let's just applaud Marius Yankee. He made up we were talking about Andrew Miller, top 5 in the amateurs, making up 13 places. We've got to talk about Marius Yankee in this McLaren. It has proven its strength today. I mean, of course, Linus Tech now in the lead by 18 seconds has proven that worth as well. But Yankee in the Manatee McLaren really has shown its worth. And the only car he's battling with right now is Pascal Raidillon, who's a pro driver. So he doesn't have to worry too much. In fact, he might... I thought he was pulling over for one moment. He was just hugging the inside of the back straight. He's 5 seconds ahead of Christian Furtz, the Raidillon TV car, who's in P4 for the amateurs. So this will be a really good podium. And it will also give a 1 and 3 for Manatee on the podium for the amateurs, which I think they kind of need, being that there's only going to be one Manatee car on the podium in the pros at the moment, as it stands.
And that is Maut Stumpf.
He's had a quiet race as well, let's be brutally honest.
I mean, quiet but effective. He's been lapping in a 149.1s this entire race, really. His best lap was a 148.752, but unfortunately it doesn't compare to something like Techno, who did a 148.318, so, you know, a half a second, or, you know, almost half a second slower in terms of fastest pace. And the overall pace is, again, another 0.5, so he's been essentially 0.5 of a second slower consistently over the race. So I don't think, unless Techno has an awful off track, I don't think.
Yo, can we talk about Tech now? Because there's one thing I've noticed. He did 49s middle of his race, but we were on about how he's been doing 48s. He's been doing 48s as he's been going around traffic. And granted, I think a lot of them are just pulling to one side, letting him by, so he's not racing the traffic. But he's been doing 48s in traffic, which is a big deal. It's one thing to be pulling ahead of your competition. It's another thing to be pulling ahead of your competition while going around slower cars.
Yeah. That would especially be the case when, well, it's let me try and word this properly. I think it is actually easier to move out of traffic if you're of the same class. I think they're a lot more courteous about letting you by. But for like multi-class racing, which this technically is, it is multi-class racing, but it's the same cars in both of the grids. I think it's actually seen as easier, you know, in a setup like this where all the cars are the same versus something like Le Mans, for instance, or the Le Mans series, where each of the classes sort of has to battle each other to get by.
That makes sense. That does make sense. I mean, it yeah. I'm trying to say it's not tarnishing what Linus is doing by going around the lap card, but it just shows, especially on a track like Monza with all the straights, that it's pretty a safe bet you're going to get some decent allowances of cars getting by you. As I just watched Adam Miles going past that Liam McNinch, who still has not repaired that car, just like Iglesias. Those two are going to be a bit unfortunate. He goes green, by the way, Adam Miles, a 149.789. That's his fastest lap. And a decent lap, really.
I don't understand how either of them are still driving at the moment. The Tristan Iglesias car should not be driving.
Should be a meatball. That should be. Let's be brutally honest. That should be a meatball.
Like, the fact that the radiator has not been touched is a miracle. The fact that the engine hasn't been upset is a miracle.
I'm just saying that if I'm doing oval racing and I have a hit like Iglesias did, I'd be seeing smoke out the back of my car. That would be engine damage. And we've seen this.
Uh-oh. I think we've lost Craig. Craig?
You're coming back. Sorry.
All right, so yeah.
We've seen during endurance racing how one light touch at the front of a car will damage the intercooler, and that's your race, and that's your engine done. And yet Iglesias gets away. How? How?
iRacing giveth, and the iRacing taketh. It's Alpha and Omega, the beginning and end. I will give unto netcode that is the fountain of life freely.
I thought you were doing like the iRacing prayer or the iRacing code or something.
Well, it is essentially it's a passage, you know. It's a play on the passage, but it's essentially saying, you know, please don't kill me, netcode. And I'm like, you look at how like the Midland sim racing car of Andrew Miller is nice and clean. There's a bit of dirt on it, but you get that. You get rubber splats all over the cars here. It just happens. Then you just look at Tristian's car, and it's just like, hang on a minute. Excuse me?
Let's give credit's due. A car that beaten up, and it's still lapping better than a lot of cars out there at the moment. I'm convinced Louis Eggerson has got a bit of damage after that. Yeah, he's doing 152s. Has he had another off? No, you know when I said he hit the sausage curb? I think he actually did get engine damage. Because ever since he hit that, he's doing 51s and 52s. So I'm convinced he's had some underlining damage there. Ever since he hit that, went flying again. He likes flying, doesn't he?
This isn't Microsoft Flying Simulator. This is iRacing, damn it.
Hey, if we want to fly, we'll go to Bathurst. By the way, we're at Bathurst. I think it's next week. Is it next week? Yeah, next week. We are at Bathurst. 2 30-minute races. With 4 minutes to go. With 4 minutes to go in the race. Let's just talk about Bathurst. Oh dear. And it's going to be a reverse grid. Double oh dear.
Sorry, I just had a heart attack there. Jesus Christ.
What?
Well, you said reverse grid. I just got a heart attack.
Oh, sorry. I mean, it's not like a reverse grid goes on to something like Rents the Fence and takes up the first minute or anything, is it? You know.
No, who would be so hilarious as to? Oh no, that was us, wasn't it?
Can we have a little moment to focus on my being an absolute legend? Yes. Let's have a moment to just basically, and I keep saying it because everyone was saying, "Hey, why are you driving the Ford? Is it a meme pick? You know, it's a bit weird. You know, you could be picking any other car." And no, he wanted to do this. He wanted to keep driving it. And let's be fair, Mayer loves a challenge. This is the guy that I bet you he would be the guy that would take a Porsche 919 in ILMS and try to make something that would beat the Audis. I mean, he'd fail because that's the way it is. But he is really driven. He could take a Ford anywhere in VRS, I would reckon, and do really well. And not just because it'd be a track that would suit it. Again, a 149.326 of his last lap. He's been doing nothing but 49s. Okay, it's a second slower than what Tech Now was doing. But Tech Now is a 6K iRating driver. Joshua Mayer is a 2K iRating driver. You know, iRating doesn't really give you representation of skill, but it's the experience factor that Tech Now's had a lot more experience on the sim compared to Mayer. Mayer's only been 18 months. But in 18 months, he's doing this. He's leading the amateurs. He's P4 in a race with some top drivers. In front of him, 3 seconds ahead of him, is a pro driver who's won championships in Europe, or a championship in Europe. So, okay, it's a simulator, but he's hanging with him. He is really good. And he won't admit it, despite everyone tells him. And I think that's what's great. But to do this in a Ford that everyone writes off, just amazing. So Taylor Lane will take the position over Jack Hills as they keep buying. Louis Eggerson, I think Louis Eggerson definitely, he's unable to do anything. He's just let another car go by him. Side by side through the first chicane just go Hills and Lane. They're going to be side by side going up to the Curva Grande at the moment. And I think Lane's just decided I'm not going to fight that. I'll go and set myself up for round 2, going around the corner, going around the second chicane. They'll come around right now. He will take the inside. Good little weave around here from Jack Hills. Does not get it. He has to yield off. So Hills holds on to that. Good little battle there. Adam Miles continues to rise in his battle. I mean, you can see all the pros and you can see all the amateurs. Not a lot of pros today. The green on the standings is the pros, as you would think, but some good going all around when you think about it. But it's
could we have a chat about Milan Tikins? He's my brother.
We can. Unfortunately, we are onto the white flag, by the way, so we will. But Milan Tikins, we were saying earlier, a sports car champion, a is it sports car championship? Yeah, sorry, the supercar challenge in a BMW Z4. Now this series is not just a local series. We're talking Magna Cours, Zolder, Spa, Sanderford, and Assen, and he won everywhere but Zolder last year. even twice winning both races in the weekend with his teammate Maximine Ouston. And both of them have their family members in a different car in a different category for the same team in the series, and I think they did well as well. So that just goes to show you there is some family pedigree there from the Dutch driver there, Tikens.
He's definitely got the right foot and the left foot skills. Not for football, for pedals. And I'll tell you who's coming around Parabolica right now. It is Linus Techno. I stole it from you.
You did! Linus Technow takes the victory. I'll steal that from you. A very well-driven drive there from Technow. Matt Stump is about 10 seconds behind him. He will come around Josh Seymour. Lap car is in front of him. But Stump will take a deserved P2 with a quiet race from Stump after getting around. Well, he didn't really get around, unfortunately. Ninch. It was just bad fortune there. He will take P2. Milan Tikens will take third place in his debut race, and behind him is the top three amateurs. Joshua Mayer with another victory in the amateur division. He will take that victory. He will celebrate, and he will celebrate so well. Harry Wills will come around now. He will take P2 in the amateurs, and then slowly but surely, after a fantastic pit strategy there, Marius Yankee will take P3 in the amateurs. And we can't talk we can't talk more about that really. That was fantastic from Janke.
Yeah, the car of Marius Yank doing very well. Sorry, Liam McNinn's taking the position over Tristan. No, he took it back. Tristan Iglesias took it. Who took it? Oh,
it was McNinch. Iglesias went really wide.
Yeah, McNinch stealing the position back away from Iglesias. But I think we can start going over the results after a really quite interesting race. Not too many big moments, which is always good. Had an incident at the start, but we've seen Joshua Mayer coming home again in first position for the amateurs.
Yeah, so let's just go over it, because what's interesting is the winners of both classes never lost or gained a position overall. So Linus Tech now takes the win. Started pole, finished pole. Malt Stump makes up a place and comes P2, and Milan Tikens in his first race comes home into P3. Then comes the amateur podium. Joshua Meyer 4th, Harry Wills 5th, and Marius Yankee 6th with that great pit strategy. Dan Pascal Radshawn will take 7th, and Christian Furtz will take 8th in the Raidillon TV car. Mark Sonderman 9th, Andrew Miller will take 10th, Adam Miles will take 11th. Liam McNinch, after spinning, hitting, having to come back up, he will take 12th. Tristan Iglesias will take 13th after basically driving around like an OnlyFans model. Sorry, sorry.
I can't believe you've done this.
They are actually some well-respected people on OnlyFans, but you get what I mean. Basically, just selling nudes. That's what it felt like showing that engine off. He finishes P13th. Harry Harvey 14th, and Louis Eggleston comes 15th after having what looks like splitter or engine damage.
So we go to Jack Hills, who will take 16th position for his good old troubles. Get down into 17th position with Callum Beaumont with a... Oh, sorry, I was about to say the lap times, but no, he was 1 minute 34 seconds down the road from the leader. Martin Pearson with 18th position in the car 25. In 19th position is Taylor Lane. Chris Miles in 20th. Then it goes Sebastian Rain was a lap down in 21st. Stefan Kurzman was a lap down in 22nd. In 23rd, Josh Seymour was a lap down. Simon Dodd was 2 laps down. Neil Butler 7. And then we get into some of the casualties. Tom Johnson was a casualty. Chris Hamer, unfortunately, not having the best of starts, and then it just went really just topsy-turvy. And then Ben Smith, of course, having that incident at the start of the race, essentially put paid to him. And James Goldstan, I think, was also involved in an incident at the start of the race, and that also put paid to him. And Hugh Haycox did not take to the grid.
No, I'm surprised about that. I'm pretty sure he did join up, but did not join, so I'm not sure what happened there. But driver of the day, I think it has to be Marius Yankee. Great race for him. I've just got to do that really. He'll be my driver of the day. But while we talk about drivers of the day, and Mark Sonneman is a Manatee driver in something that isn't an Audi, the other Manatee driver that doesn't drive an Audi drives a Ford and wins the amateur division, the amateur race once again, which puts him in a really strong position in the championship, is Joshua Mayer. We've got him right here. Joshua, you said this was one of the worst tracks for the Ford, and you've come home with great lap times to win. So explain that.
I'm German, so I have a bit of a Mercedes employee in me, of course. No, it turned out a lot better than I thought from practice. I didn't expect this when I practiced, but same as for Le Mans, the setup just kept coming alive after lap 11, and then it just smoothly.
Myself and Craig were noticing, by the way, that the car was bouncing in qualifying, and throughout the first few laps it was bouncing. Did you feel that in the car? Because we keep fearing the worst every time the car bounces.
It does it, but it's not that bad. I managed to tune it out a lot.
And is the bouncing in any way a detriment, or is it just a side effect of the car itself?
It's just iRacing applied BOP at this point, I think. It doesn't influence it that much. Like, you feel it, especially in some acceleration zones, but then the Ford, it just has so much torque, it doesn't matter that much.
So talk us through the... Go ahead, Craig.
I don't have anything. You go for it.
No, I was just going to say, talk us through what was your strategy at the start of the race, and how did it play out? Did it play out to what you were expecting it, or did you just, sort of, keep calm and carry on, and just sort of put in laps as you saw fit?
The Mercedes trade comes again. I'm just every race I'm just going for the lowest average time, and my main goal was to beat everyone that's ahead of me in the championship. And at the start I got a slowdown, and after the battle with Harry I just decided to stay there and try to manage it for the rest 45 minutes, I think.
Perfect. Yeah, do you have anything else, Craig?
I was just saying, I mean, you were almost catching the pros at the front, and I mean, we've seen now constantly you are racing up the front with some of the pros. Now, of course, you're not racing for a position, you're more racing just for track position. So does that have an effect on you? Are you thinking, are you looking at, well, unless they're really slow, overtake them? Or, I mean, it's one thing I've not asked anybody, is that situation where you are catching a pro driver, or you're getting held up by a pro driver, because we have seen it before. Does that affect you too much, or are you thinking that you've just got to get by them?
It heavily depends who is ahead of me. Like, some people like Linus, Liam and so on, I know that I can trust and that they are faster than me anyway. As said, my goal is just the shortest complete race time, and if I overtake would just cost me more time than staying behind, I just don't do it. Especially because of qualifying, I really often end up behind someone that's like 3 or 4 tenths faster than me, so I can just keep in there with slipstream. I think in the end it's something that both sides have to look at together, both drivers, and evaluate if it's worth it. Because if the amateur behind you is faster, just let him buy safety fuel and get him in the pits.
Perfect analogy. I've no better way of putting that, to be honest. Yeah, we did see kind of just shuffling of people around, so that was a good thing. It was a good thing to see that people were, at least for the most part, respecting that. But are you looking forward to Mount Panorama and the hills of Bathurst?
Not at all. As said, goal is shortest complete race time. What happens, I don't know. I don't think anyone knows. I know that Tim is excited because he likes Bathurst, but that's about it.
Ever race Bathurst?
Oh yes, I did the 12 hour. I think it's the 12 hour, and I also did a NASCAR Cup car race around Bathurst. But that's about it in terms of experience.
That sounds amazing, because I remember doing ILMS in a Audi, an Audi LMP1 car around there, and it was just a blast. Really crazy, but a blast. And I mean, the question is, do you set yourself up for the first race or the second race? I mean, you have to play it by ear at Bathurst. Hopefully, there's not a lot of crashes. We hope so. We hope so. There's not going to be a lot of crashes, but how is that going to play? Because we always talk about this. How is it going to play on the bounciness of the car?
I have absolutely no idea, but usually Bathurst, it shouldn't be too bad in Bathurst. I have absolutely no idea. I haven't done a single lap in Bathurst since the 12th hour last year, so.
Well, I think
I will run the same setup that I run at every other track, and then it's either gonna be okay or bad.
Well,
I think after all this racing, you're going to get a lot of people consider the Ford. I'm going to be honest. I think you may have created a trend, and I think we may see some more Fords coming around, because it's been great to see you driving this car, which originally was considered a meme, but no meme there. It is a beast on the field at the moment. So all I can say is congratulations for another podium, and I think that might put you top, but I can't be sure. Can't be sure, but that will put you in a strong contention at the top of the field now.
Yeah, I'll see, but thank you.
Thank you very much,
Thank
Joshua,
you very
and
much.
congratulations on your amateur win.
Right, well, let's get in brand new, the new guy, as as you could call it. This is Milan Tikins, who in his debut race made up 2 spots into P3. So, first of all, welcome to the series and congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a pleasure that I can drive here, and it was fun racing. So, yeah, had a good race.
I mean, I know that you're looking at your pedigree. You were a champion in a BMW Z4 last year. Went for the Audi. I mean, there's no real why did you do it, because I mean, I think the Audi's the strongest. But if you would you driven the BMW? Were you just more comfortable on the sim with the Audi?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, my teammate Louis, he drove in the R8, and I thought, yeah, let's pick the same car. We already had a setup for it, but I noticed that the R8 is lacking a bit of straight line speed, so that was a bit. I lost a bit of time to the Ford behind. Yeah, I saw him closing the gap on the straights all the time, so it was really hard to keep up. But yeah, the BMW, I don't know. It's not really. I don't know. Not really to think about it or something. Yeah.
So, how was your first race in the RSR? What did you think?
Yeah, the car is really good in the corners, and only the tires are. I don't know. The tires were after like 10 laps. It was hard to keep up with the guys in front, and because the tires were going off a bit. But after some point, the tires just settled in for some reason, and I could do like my consistent laps, like 49 low. And I could only see the Ford closing in on the straight, so I had to manage the gap, and really drove all the race flat out, because on the straights I couldn't keep up with the guys. So it was a fun race, a really hard one.
Yeah, and it's a good thing that you did so well in your first maiden voyage into the Racing Sim Rings World Series, and you got 3rd position. So I'd say you're pretty pleased with that for your first venture out with us as a group. I'm really happy. I didn't expect it. I hoped obviously for a podium, but quali, it went okay. But I did some better times in practice. But quali has never been very strong for me. And but in the race, P3 spun, and I saw like the guy behind me crashed into him.
and then I had like sort of big gap behind me. So I thought now P3 is possible for this race. So I just gone with it and just push flat out to the end.
Yeah, it's always a crapshoot, Monza, as well with the chicanes, but it was a good performance by you as well, just keeping the constant laps as well. Next week we go to 2 races in Bathurst, and I mean, are you looking forward to that? Narrow track, walls on both sides. It's we know you're used to the Aspens, the Solders, and the Spa, so a little bit narrower. Is it going to be is it going to be a bit of a challenge getting around the hills of Mount Panorama?
Yeah, I think so. It's a pretty hard track. I've never driven it on iRacing yet. On other games like Project Cars or something, but it was more for fun. And I have to buy it for the next race. So I think I'm going to practice a bit on Bathurst, and I hope I will be competing with the front guys. So let's see.
Anything else to add, Rob?
I have nothing else personally to add, no. But I do see Linus Tech now in the chat.
All right.
So we say thank you to Milan, by the way. Thank you very much once again, and we look forward to seeing you. But we have saved the best till last, the overall winner of tonight. Yeah, goodbye, good evening, and good night, Milan. We have saved the best till last. It's Linus, who had a pretty straightforward race. Congratulations, Linus. That McLaren looked fast out there tonight, I got to be honest.
Yeah, it's one of my best tracks and probably one of the best McLaren tracks on iRacing, so that's a good combo for me, and I was able to convert that to a win.
Yeah, it's a win that really helps you in the championship as well with Matsuke. Tim Matsuke not racing this week. It helps as well because I think your lowest points total was about 30 was it about 30 odds or something, 28. So yeah, that will help you as well along those lines because of the low points. But I mean, one of the things I need to ask, because we were noticing you were doing constant times through lap traffic. So I'm guessing the lap traffic did let you by. You weren't battling them like you would be in other series. Am I right in thinking that?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure everyone lifted on the straights to let me by, though. So I don't think I ever got held up by any lap traffic in this race.
It must be. I don't want to laugh, but it must be a first for you, because I know your pedigree as well from ILMS and everything, and we all know how the traffic can be in IMSA and ILMS, so it's almost like a first having a bit of help there. But I wouldn't say did you miss Tim, but it was a pretty straightforward race. So did you miss the competition, or were you just happy keeping all four wheels on the track and not making a mistake?
I mean, I'm happy I get the win. Tim definitely would have challenged me for that win, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, I mean, Monza is never the most interesting track, and I think like excitement-wise, it wouldn't have mattered that much if Tim was close to me or not, because it's all like if he's close to me, it's all just fuel saving until the pit stop, and then one of the two jumps the other in the pits and the race is over pretty much. So yeah, that's probably how it would have ended if Tim was here.
And I'm trying to put this into words without sounding mean, but you were just so dominant straight from the start. Did you feel at any stage in trouble? Did you feel like the car was giving way, or?
No, I'm pretty comfortable at Monza. I've done, I don't know how many at this point, but I've probably done more than 50 races in GT3 cars at Monza at this point. So I know fairly well how the tires drop, how to handle the traffic, when to push, stuff like that. So I never really felt uncomfortable.
Yeah, I've got nothing else. Craig, do you have anything to add?
Are you ready for Bathurst? That's all I can ask, because it's going to be crazy. So, are you looking forward to it?
I like the track. I'm not sure how well it will go, because second race is reverse grid, and if you get stuck behind anything stupid, on the mountain, then yeah, that's your second race gone. So that's gonna be a tough race, especially in the McLaren. But yeah,
Is the McLaren weaker at Bathurst? I would have.
I think it's equal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like if you win at Bathurst, you're the better driver, pretty sure. So
I think I would agree with that. To be fair, it's one of those tracks where it's more about making sure you're alive than just trying to push a car. So it is. We always talk. We keep saying it. We have said about it for probably the last 10 minutes about Bathurst, but it is one of those tracks where you just have to just be prepared for anything. And I mean, I think Adam has a spotter with him. I don't think. I think the answer would be no. But would that be something you would consider? Just someone being able to look up ahead for you, or would you be? Would you just be elsewhere?
No.
Yeah, just use your own.
For me, it's I don't know. If someone's telling on the voice chats that there's a wreck ahead, then I'm not used to reacting to stuff like that. Like my mindset for race 2 at least is if I see a yellow flag ahead, I'm slamming on the brakes pretty much, so I don't run into anything. So spotter is probably not going to change that. So I don't think it would be useful for me because I'm not used to having a spotter.
That's fair enough. I don't know if you've got anything to add, Rob.
I don't at the moment, no.
At the moment, you only get a little bit of time with. You only get a little bit more time with him, Rob. You know, so say you're passing goodbyes if you have to.
I know.
We'll get to see Linus in one more week, though. Do not worry. We'll be back for Bathurst next week. But thank you again, Linus, and congratulations once again for your victory. We will see you at Bathurst in Australia. The Mount Panorama, it will be crazy. But once again, thank you very much. And the overall winner for today's race, Linus Tech now.
Yes, thanks. Bye, guys.
Thanks very much, Linus.
Thank you.
Now, at the end of every stream, what do we say, Craig?
Take a deep breath and inhale this in. If you have liked us, thank you very much. Once again, we are on Twitch and YouTube, preferably YouTube. If you do like us, hit the subscribe or follow button on whichever service you use. Hit the like button for the YouTube algorithms on YouTube. I said YouTube twice during a sentence. I do not know why. Underneath our videos is links to our Discord, is links to the sponsors of this series, Racing Sim Rigs, who do fantastic sim rigs. The live timings, if you've missed it, which is a bit too late now anyway. Our Discord, which we have said. Once again, a shout out to trackcams22.com, who provide these fantastic camera angles that they gave us. Thank you very much. Also a link to our socials, Facebook, Raidillon TV, our website, raidillon.tv, our Instagram, and our Twitter. Yes, we have a Twitter now. Yes, we are now finally modern, and us boomers are finally getting with the kids. If you do like us, thank you very much once again. We will be back Friday night with ILMS, and I think, guess what? It's at Monza as well. We're back for another bit of Monza on Friday night for ILMS, and then back with the classic Silverstone Sunday night in the Fanatec GT1 series. I don't have anything else to say apart from thank you very much and good night.
I mean, he's rounded it off there, ladies and gentlemen. So, thank you very much, guys, for tuning in. If you do like us, give us a subscribe, hit the bell icon to let you guys, or to get notified when we go live. Follow us on our Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Do check us out on our Discord as well. It's down in the description. And until Friday night at Monza with the ILMS series, do take care, guys, and enjoy the rest of your week.